autumn's coming. Big fan of autumn. And I know with autumn, and I know from reading your comments that a lot of you are medical students or health profession students. So a lot of you will be starting new courses, doing new things. If you're studying anatomy, which let's face it, that's probably why you're here, you're going to be encountering some very strange experiences. So I thought I'd talk about cadavers and people donating their bodies for anatomical examination. So it is a bit of a weird topic. It might be, you know, not the sort of thing you want to hear about, and if that's the case, you know, skip this one. But I thought I'd tell you what I tell my students, because some students find it difficult, and I thought I'd tell you what it's like being an anatomist, working with these people's bodies for, well, since 1993. One of the reasons I'm doing this out on my mountain bike, which might seem a bit incongruous, is so that hopefully you'll feel comfortable that I'm not in the lab. I'm not going to show you any bodies, any cadavers, anything like that. I'm not at work. I'm out on the trails, alright? First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the people that donate their bodies so that medical students, anatomists, other health profession students can really get a good understanding of the body, because it does make a big difference. You've seen the lovely models I use, you've seen the illustrations in the textbooks, you've maybe seen the computer generated models. They're not the same as the real body, and we use these bodies a great deal, and we look at all the anatomy and we find that everybody's a little bit different inside as well as outside, and that some things are bigger, some things are smaller, some things are in slightly different places. And once you've seen it, once you've appreciated that, you understand anatomy better than you ever could without. And fascia as well, we always take off fascia. You never really see fascia, you never see it on the models or the illustrations, but when you're dissecting, you take away the skin, you take away the fascia, you get to the other layers, you immediately understand things like fascia and their roles. And it's the same with like cutaneous nerves and vessels. You don't see them unless you're dissecting, unless you're working through these layers. Okay, big example at the moment, we have a person whose inferior vena cava moves from the left to the right in their abdomen. Super rare, and I've seen this twice in two different people, and it's a beautiful piece of anatomy, probably never caused any trouble, but showing students this gives them this massive understanding of, don't assume when you're looking at your patient, you know, through MR, CT, X-rays, that even the big parts of their anatomy are where they should be. They are where they are, and be careful, follow things up and down and see where they connect to. So it's really important, and I think that people who donate their bodies, I mean, it's just so brave. And you might think this is a silly thing to say because people that donated their bodies are dead, but no, people donate their bodies before they die. That's the whole point. They say, I would like this to happen to my body after my death. So there are living people making these decisions, and it's incredibly brave and incredibly generous. And I've talked to these old people that do this, and they're kind of flipping about it and they shrug it off, but no, it's incredibly brave. And I'd like to say that we do, when we're dissecting, when we're working with the body, we always remember that it was a person, that it is a person. We're always very careful, very respectful, and we never forget. trees down that were fallen and blocking the path. Excellent. Okay. Ooh. Number one then, students. The first time in the dissecting room, the first time with a cadaver, with a dead body, you don't know what you're going to experience, you don't know what it's going to be like. It's impossible, it is weird, it is strange, it's supposed to be. In my experience, about 1% of students find that first experience difficult, like the most difficult one, and then in most people it gets easier. Sometimes it takes a while. So the two most common reactions are sadness, which is great. It means you're human, it means you care about other humans. That's normal, that's a good thing. People feel really sad when they see a dead person. That's not weird, that's normal. If you feel like that, good. It will lessen with time. You will get over it. And that's one of the things about having bodies in anatomy teaching, is we're teaching healthcare professionals. This is often your first experience of death. Better to get used to it now than in the clinic, right? Used to it. You never get used to it, do you? Morning. Hey, alright. Hey, dogs. The other response, and the one that students probably expect more, is that you feel queasy, you go a bit green, you get a little bit on the vasovagal, you feel wobbly, a little bit of a shock. Fine, yeah. Have a sit down, go out, get some fresh air. Dissection rooms don't smell good. Walk around, clear your head, whatever works, you know, not all at once, you know. Have to sit down first. But do please, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, have a sit down, because I have had to assist some students on their way towards the ground. You know, and also if you feel queasy, that's also normal. I mean, that's how you're supposed to feel. But it's the students that feel like queasy that get over it the fastest. I've been teaching medical students and other students for 18 years, and I have never come across a student that had a difficult experience in the dissection room and was not able to graduate from medicine. It's fine. You adapt. Medicine is hard. Medicine is the hard aspects of life. You will adapt, you know that. Kim's really annoyed because they've rebuilt this bridge to make it more, you know, like wheelchair friendly and what have you, because you used to have steps on it, and I got her to do tricks so she could, like, you know, hop up the steps, improve her skills, and she got really good at that, and now it's gone, so I have to find somewhere else. Alright, onto the trails, which have been washed away a little bit. Away. Oh god. Okay, proper off-road, climb's coming up. Even more fun doing it one-handed, right? Whee! It's the climbs that are good for you, right? It's the climbs that make you work hard. Good for your cardiovascular health. Good for your focus as well, so good for your mental health, because you're not thinking about all your problems, you're thinking about that rock, that line, that slippery bit I just saw. And then you're breathing through your eyeballs and you're thinking, when's it going to end? But not this one, this one's fine. Also, I really like climbs. So. Here we go. Not a very big hill, but good to get the heart rate up. So if you found your first time in the dissection room difficult, well done. You passed the normal human being test. You absolutely should work in healthcare because you care about other humans. That's what Annabelle was doing this morning. Very wary of not spooking horses when I'm rattling down a hill on a mountain bike. Noisy and scary at the best of times, let alone if you're a horse and you're scared by everything. Okay, so what's it like as an anatomist working with cadavers? Well, remember that I work with these bodies, these people every week. I work with them very closely. We have them for some years, so yeah, it does have a big effect on me. It reminds me constantly of my own mortality. It reminds me that anything could happen to us at any time, so part of looking after, or a big part of looking after myself, my health, is reducing the risks of that. But then of course you've seen what I do. Okay, mountain biking is not particularly dangerous, it's somewhat dangerous, but some of the things I do, some of the activities I do, sports I take part in, if you make a mistake they can end in death. The other one is, as in last week's video, taking things apart, finding out how they work. Being able to do that is incredibly lucky. I'm really privileged, and it never get bored of it. It is fascinating to see how people are, you know, what their anatomy is, how they work, how they're put together. So you know, working with cadavers, making me aware of my own mortality and making me better understand my own body and appreciate it, those are all positive things. They can be difficult things, but ultimately they're good things. I never take what I've got, what I do, who I am, for granted. At least I hope I don't. We did it. By the way, my job I don't think is related to why I like adventurous sports and more dangerous sports. I think that's just how my brain is wired. I just enjoy them. I enjoy the balance of risk and reward and fun, and you know, it's like a drug. The more you do it, the more you need to push it. Okay, time to wash my bike and myself.